if you're making a lot of money from it, you know,
Right.
like if I'm getting paid to, you know, like freaking $1 million to go box, then it's hard. Like, why not, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not getting paid none of that money, so just might as well practice the real stuff, you know.
Right.
And then at least you have that to say like, hey, this is, at least I'm authentic to the reality, and not just be a part of everybody else that's chasing after money and the fame,
Right.
doing the fake shit, you know.
Yeah.
Like at least you could be like, you know what? At least I'm authentic to the real. Like this is for like a real street, and you guys are practicing something else. You guys might be good, but at least I'm practicing the real science of survival, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because boxing changed completely once they introduced the gloves. Because you know, like bare knuckle fighting used to be what people would go see in the early American times. You know, that they'd have the bare knuckle bouts in England, Ireland, all across Europe. That's what was famous, the bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
And the whole stance, everything was different. Like everything about it was different.
Yeah.
And once they introduced the gloves, then they invented the jab.
Yeah.
So like like you said, it is completely different, and the whole, I guess, sport of boxing changed once they introduced the gloves, which is interesting to think about.
It changes everything, but also, you know, they took away all the other techniques like the kicks and all that shit. But every little thing makes a difference. You know, they could have a whole new sport that has kickboxing with shoes on and then kickboxing without shoes on.
Yeah.
Then it's just they end up calling it different. Okay, this is kickboxing American. Okay, this is Thai boxing because they got elbows and knees. I mean, just the introduction of just every little thing makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, but like when you train for the streets, it's just for the streets. There are no rules like that, so you just do what you need to do, and that's what Bruce focused on, and that's what I focus on, because I want to stay true to the real.
Yeah.
There's no need for me to deviate from that, you know, especially at my age, and I'm not naturally competitive like that. There's absolutely no reason for me to get into combat sport.
Right.
You know, if somebody wants to compete, oh, let's box. Like, no, like we could fight for real,
Right.
but we're not gonna box. You know, we'll do what we need. You know, we'll do the real shit because that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to express that, and if you look at it, very few people do it, and that's what makes it very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you take that path, because everybody is usually a boxer, a wrestler, a cage fighter, a taekwondo. They're always doing something that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sport. But when you decide to be one of the few people out there that actually practices the real, then that really sets you apart from a lot of people, because everybody is usually practicing something to get to some point. Mm-hmm. So like if people are playing basketball to try to make it to the NBA, people are playing football to try to make it to the NFL. Like very few people actually play the sport because they truly love it. That's not even about chasing after this goal.
The dream, right.
Yeah. So I'm training it for my whole life because this is what I want to do, and I want to perfect it as much as I can. So then I got like a whole life's work that people can, you know, that I could share, and then people could learn to appreciate. They could be like, hey, you know, like Bruce Lee was one of them. He'd be like, hey, you know, Freddie Lee was one of the guys who only did the real stuff. You know, like he really stayed true to that. You know, but most people will give in to something, to not being the real. Because there could be the real martial artist, but then they get tempted to get into the cage.
Because
be
of
like,
the money,
you know,
right?
Yeah, you know, the money, the fame. Hey, we'll give you this money if you start practicing the fake shit, you know, in order to, you know, and then they get tempted, and then they get led astray.
Right.
You know, because then they gotta modify what they do for the cage, and that's when you start being fake, because you're modifying yourself to meet to that standard, or not standard, but just those rules.
Right.
And then you're not representing martial arts anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bruce Lee. Like before he got really into the martial arts, he did try the boxing and he won, but he never went back in there ever again, because he probably knew, like, I don't want to be a boxer. I want to be a martial artist.
Right.
And that's what he decided to do, you know. And he know, like, just being somebody his size and being somebody my size, martial arts works towards our advantage, because when we fight against people like way bigger than us, we need to kind of cheat in order to win. cheating meaning like kicking,
Right.
breaking their kneecap, kicking their groin area. We can't outbox them. We have to cheat to win. So that's what martial arts is all about, is like finding all the cheat codes and using it to your advantage to beat the person. Because the person is bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you. You still got to find a way to beat them. And that's what martial arts is about. You figure out all the tricks and tools that you got in your big mystery box. You use it to win.
Right.
You know, but once you go into those combat sports, they're taking those tools away. You can't kick, you can't do that, you can't eye gouge, you can't break this, you can't break that, you can only do this. And then you lock them in, and then you expect them to win. How are they supposed to win? You pretty much limited them to make them lose.
Right.
And that's what's going on. It gets me to think about that movie, Gladiator. The guy couldn't beat him, so then he ends up going into and stabs him right here, puts the armor on him, and then tries to beat him, like as if but then like it's like but then he still lost. It's like if you limit a martial artist, the martial artist is meant to be free. You practice freedom in your technique expression, and that's the difference between like a martial artist and like a sport fighter. I'm not saying these sport fighters are not talented. Some of them are. But martial artists practices the real stuff.
Right.
And there's just not enough martial artists that practice the real to represent it to a high level because there's no money involved. Because it's a whole lifetime of work, but where is the money compared to the sport people? You got like Mayweather's like millions and billions of dollars, and then you got like a martial artist like a Bruce Lee or a Monk or whoever that they don't have that much money. It's just nothing in comparison.
Right.
So then you're like, like at least when you're trained to be a basketball player, you're gonna be, your hopes is I'm gonna make millions of dollars one day. But imagine if you train your whole life and then what do you get out of it? Like a breakdancer, what do you get out of it? No.
A few $100.
Yeah, like a few $1,000s, maybe if you teach on the side.
Right.
But just think about a breakdancer and how much money they could actually make.
Right.
Dancers go through that, and maybe musicians.
Artists.
Yeah, artists.
Yeah,
the starving artists, exactly. It's like you do your whole life, and then what do you make? Yeah. Like, I'm lucky to be where I'm at, where I make something. But I'm not like freaking balling, what I'm saying? I'm not like stunting, like just making enough to survive and have a little more. But then you learn to just be content with that, it's like, it's not all about the money.
Yeah.
It's like spiritual practices, meditation, being happy inside and being content with what you have. But I do appreciate, you being here and having an appreciation for what I do, and also there's other people out there that do appreciate what I do, and I do like to see me post a video and it gets like 100 views, a couple hundred views. So at least shows that there's some people that appreciate what I do.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like millions of views, but it's okay. like that's what it is to be an artist. You just keep working hard, and maybe one day you'll get there. But if you don't, it's all right.
Because it's an artist works not necessarily for somebody else, but it's like for themselves. Like they're creating because they feel that need to create.
Yeah, exactly. And you being here helps me bring it back out to the YouTube. I mean, I've been away from the YouTube, and I've been creating for the people here.
Right.
But I haven't been creating for the people out there. But it's great that we do have the technology, because even though I'm like low key, I'm at least able to be on YouTube to share with other people.
Right.
So I don't really need Hollywood like the way Bruce did, because they didn't have the internet back then. They didn't have YouTube. So Bruce had really no other way to reach out to America other than Hollywood.
Right.
But now, we don't need Hollywood. We could use social media to kind of reach out there. And it's a beautiful thing, because when you're an artist, you want to share.
Right.
You don't want to just be locked in a closet, kind of like this room, training by yourself, and then nobody sees anything. It's like you train hard because you want to share with people.
Yeah.
And I do get a lot of, fulfillment inside when I share with people and they appreciate it. you know, and it means a lot to me. Even it's not even just about the money, because I'm not making that much money from the YouTube. It's just the fulfillment, because that's how it first started off in the YouTube. I never made any money.
Yeah.
But I still did it because I enjoyed it, and then it's just a way of marketing as well. You know, sharing to the people what you do, and they go on your website and they see a video, be like, oh, you know, I like that, so let me join the school.
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing of having these videos, is it shows people what you do, rather than just telling them, rather than just having a list of, oh, these are all my certifications.
Right.
These are how many belts I have. Here's the trophies. But then you can't do shit.
Right.
Like, they look at you like, really? Like, okay, but what can you do? Like, can you do any of this stuff anymore?
Right.
No, I'm like retired. I'm retired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I like to be like, hey, you know, I'm this age, and look, I can do a 2-thumb push-up, I can do a 1-thumb push-up, 2-finger push-up, you know, I could do these pull-ups. I mean, and if we spar, hey, you know, if you could beat me up, then hey, then join somewhere else.
Right.
But if you can't beat me up, then hey, maybe there's something I could teach you, right? So it's just hands-on. You know, it's like, that's what, it's kind of annoying when people be like, oh, you know, can you beat up this fighter? But I'm like, can I beat you up? That's the question that we gotta boil down to. Can I beat you up? If I can beat you up, then what does it matter if I can beat him up? Because he's not trying to be my student.
Right.
You know, but if you want to be my student, then all that matters is like, hey, the person that you're learning from, is he skillful enough to teach you? That's what it boils down to. And honestly, you know, a lot of the people out there, you know, it's just silly. It's like, oh, I wanna learn how to box, but I only want to learn from Mayweather, nobody else. It's like, really? Like, you only want to learn from Mayweather, you want to learn from nobody else. So it's like, for me, I'm like, hey, you know, I might not be Bruce Lee, but hey, you know, I'm good at what I do, and I could teach.
Right.
I know I could teach. I know that I'm good at what I do. I might not be the best in the world that ever lived, you know, but I'm at least good enough to teach some people.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for those some people.
Right.
Not like the whole everybody, like all the cage fighters come here learn this shit. No, it's like not like that, you know. You know, it's just there's a lot of talented people out there.
Yeah.
And you know, we're all teachers are looking for students, and we appreciate every loyal student that we get.
Yeah.
You know. So but one